So if you have blocks or a nice firm pillow, like a sofa pillow, anything like that, make sure you get it. Yesterday we used a big book, but it was such a last minute thing. I don't know if anybody grabbed the book. That was in case they didn't have blocks. So go ahead and search for get your yoga block, get your firm pillow, or a big book, just in case. We may or may not use them, but just in case. Okay, and I think we're good. Good. So, well, it's 11 o'clock, and we have, I think, our group in the room. So, one day, I was at the Theosophical Society in Wheaton, actually, and I was sitting in the Peace Garden, and I was having, it was a very meditative morning. There was nobody around. It was a Sunday morning. I was there for a Saturday workshop, and I was sitting in the Peace Garden and started to realize at that time that I was a connector. And we want to remember at all times, we want to learn and eventually really realize this and know it in every part of our being, that we are connected to the entire world, that all of life is connected. But sometimes it takes like proof for us to realize that, and to know that in our bones. So I was sitting and I was realizing that I was a connector, and I realized I was a connector to um, so many different aspects that I didn't put together before. So I think at some point, even I said, I am the connector between the people who made my pants and the people who placed this rock right here. And to put that together was, it helped me feel it more and more as I continued to see myself as the connector. So I'd like us to start our practice that way today. So before you get there, you don't have to start considering any of this stuff yet. Before we get there, let's situate the body and let's situate the mind. So we want to come into a nice calm place internally. So we can sit up tall and find that, if it's hard to sit up tall already and there's a lot of creaking that needs to be dealt with, and go ahead and move around, and we'll get some of that taken care of in a moment. But once you're able to find stillness in the body, then check in and make sure that the body is positioned in a way so you can be here without tensing up certain muscles. So for example, if you're leaning the trunk forward, you might notice that you're tensing up in the lower body. So start to lean slightly back, like you have an invisible chair behind you, a nice upright backrest. And let the back of the head also go slightly back. So it's almost like you taking a little bit of a chin tuck here. And the arms are resting. So be sure that they aren't fidgeting. Let them rest, let them relax. Maybe that means the elbows are going to bend a little bit, the palms down or the palms up. Look to the jaw and see that the jaw can relax at this time. Let it release. Release the muscles in the face. Let the eyes go. And let's also remember, as we're here and we become more and more calm and still, that this time for you is really important. This time is going to strengthen you. On many levels, this practice is a strengthening practice, an internal strength that is the most important thing. So we give ourselves a permission to fulfill that purpose and to just be here completely without any other distractions today. Now let the mind pay attention to the breath and just watch the breath. You watch the breath and see that there's only one thing on the mind right now, and that is the breath and the observing of that breath. Let's find a clearing breath at this time to help us get a little bit more relaxed. Deep breath in through the nose, clearing through the mouth. And again, deep breath in. Let voice come out this time. Now, notice the tension in the mouth area around the jaw. Go ahead and open the mouth and then relax it. You can exhale on the relaxing of the jaw a couple more times, just opening, stretching, relaxing. Another. Letting go. At this time, bring the palms together, thumbs to the heart center. Connect the palms together. And just for a moment, before we go further, before we go into our physical practice, start to see how you are a connector. What is it that you are connecting? What people are you connecting? What other ways are you connecting and are the connector between other aspects of life? Maybe some things came to mind, maybe nothing did. Maybe we can visit this after our practice today. And so at this time, let's begin the physical practice. Come into Ujjayi Pranayama, deep breath in through the nose. Open the mouth, fog out through the mouth. Mouth stays open, fog inwardly. Close the mouth, exhale through the nose. Feel the texture in the throat has changed now. Even on the inhale, creating that sound. Now let's go ahead and take the hands and reach them upwards, still breathing deeply. And then exhale, open the arms out, start to walk the hands back. Walk the hands back enough so that you can uncross the ankles and bring the soles of the feet together. And then as you're here, begin to squeeze the shoulder blades back. Send the heart forward away from the shoulder blades. The head comes back slightly, but go ahead and bring the chin down towards the chest for a moment and then pick the head back up. Lower the chin to the chest. Take the head back up. Once more. Now from here, with the head in a neutral position, come down to the forearms. And open the knees even wider. Take the heart forward. Let the head come back all the way if that's okay for the neck, but if not, then just look upwards. And then here we are strengthening the neck. Now we're going to recline all the way down so you can bring the elbows forward a little bit and then lower the trunk all the way down. Take the arms behind, find length. Keep the soles of the feet together. And then let's plant the right foot and extend the left leg. Bring the right knee into the chest, bring the arms around the right knee. Flex the left foot, and as you're here, rock this leg, this right leg side to side. And draw the right knee in, and then start to lift the head and bring some weight into the leg. So really pull it in. Don't be afraid to draw that weight, to, to pull the leg in and feel areas of the glute stretch and open. And then we'll exhale, bring the right foot down, extend that leg, bring the left knee in, arms around the left knee, and letting that movement occur from side to side or in circles. You can flex the right foot, draw the left knee in, lift the head, and then again, see if you can wrap the arms around, pull the leg in closer and closer towards the trunk. Another breath. Exhale, lower, and extend the legs. We did this yesterday. I want to do this again because I found it really beneficial. Take the hands, plant the feet. Feels a little better with the feet planted. Take the hands behind the skull and bring the thumbs to the occipital muscles. So I guess they're called the suboccipitals. And what we're going to do is bring some pressure into these muscles at the base of the skull where those two grooves are, and allow for some massaging in circles. Rotate the other way. So we hold a lot of tension in this space. And we want to release that tension. We want to let the stress go from the physical body, letting the mind free up. So from here, we'll put some pressure and then start to lift the head. You can use the arms, lift the head, draw the chin to the chest while you're still putting pressure there. Okay, so feeling these muscles stretch, take another deep breath. And then exhale, lower the head down. We're going to do this again, but we'll create resistance this time. So go ahead and inhale, pick up the head. Now, as you take your next inhalation, push the head and the hands into each other. You're going to feel the muscles activate, and then release the head, but keep the arms lifting the head, right? And then we inhale, push head and hands into each other. And then exhale, you can push the head a little bit further forward. Once again, inhale, push in, create resistance. And then from here, just as you take the next few breaths, draw the chin closer to the chest. Use the hands as you put pressure in this region. Let's take a clearing breath. All the stress from this area leaving. And then release the head down. Okay, bring the hands around the knees, lifting knees, rocking side to side. Energetically, that's a really important area of the body. So it's good to free up that area so energy can move through it. And now from here, we're going to make a big switch to a child's posture. So if you'd like, you can rock up or you can roll to your side and then find your way to big toes touching, knees apart, trunk lowering, the forehead comes down. So as you're resting the head, just be aware of the physical body. How has the physical body changed? How has the mind changed? Be in that And we'll take 5 more deep breaths. Next inhale, lift the head, walk the arms over to the right, all the way to the right. Now keep pressing left sitting bone down and away from the left hand. We'll walk over to the left, pressing right sitting bone down into the heel, away from right hand. We're going to walk to center. And from here, rise up to table posture, hands and knees underneath the hips. Okay. On the next inhalation, lift the right arm upwards, move the wrist, set the hand down. On the exhale, inhale, left arm up, move the wrist, exhale, hand down. Just continue this a few more times. So inhaling, arm up, moving or not moving the wrist, exhaling, bringing the arm down. And going through each arm, lifting on inhalation, lowering on exhalation. One more time with the left arm. And then we'll be bringing the right arm up and meeting there, turning this right into a modified side plank. So start to extend the right foot to the back of the mat. When you do that, the left foot is going to naturally kick to the left. Just allow that. Don't fight that from happening. So that'll give us some stability as we're here. So as you're in this posture, if you feel like you can accept a little bit more challenge, you can come to a full side plank, but we want the shoulder and the wrist to line up and create one vertical post. Let's take 2 big circles with this arm, and we're going to take 2 one way and 2 the other way. And then we'll take this right arm up and come into table posture, or if you want, you can take a vinyasa by coming into plank, lowering to chaturanga dandasana, inhaling cobra or upward facing dog, exhaling downward facing dog. You know the drill if you know that term. And then from here, inhale the left arm up and extend the left foot to the back of the mat. Watch the right foot move naturally. Okay, and then we have this left arm up. We're in a modified side plank, maybe a full side plank with right edges of the feet on the mat. And then we take 2 big circles with the arm. We're going to go one way and the other way. And this time I'll take a vinyasa if you want to go through. Otherwise, you can meet in a table posture. You can take some cat-cows. Exhale, lower. Inhale, back bend. Always allowing yourself, giving permission to modify the practice to meet your needs. Let's meet in downward facing dog. So from table posture, roll over the toes, lift the hips. It does help to take the hands forward. Remember, so 1 step forward, rolling over toes, knees go up, hips go back. And then finding some movement here, maybe swaying hips or pivoting the feet. If you have trouble with this posture, you could look towards the screen for a moment, and you don't want to be here where you have lots of weight on the hands. That's just a common thing that people do. So we can compensate for tightness by separating the feet, by bending the knees, and then we're always sending the trunk back towards the thighs, but keeping hands and feet in place. So if you feel as you practice that legs begin to open up, you can straighten the legs as long as that doesn't take the tailbone and start to pull it inwards and round it, rounding the low back. Want to have the tailbone shifting up. Look forward, bend the knees, float the feet forward to the top of the mat, right into forward fold. Separate the feet to the edges of the mat. Exhale, release the trunk. Shake the head out. Let the arms be released completely. And what we'll do is bend the knees and start to unroll the spine. Let the arms dangle loose as you rise. Once the head comes up, you can adjust and just let the change in blood flow be with that change. You can move the shoulders. Okay, let's bring the feet so that they're hips distance apart. Let's get our energy up just a little bit here. So in the next inhale, take the arms and reach them upwards. As you exhale, palms together, thumbs to the heart center. Check in with the low body. Is the bottom sticking out? Then go ahead and pull the pelvis in, lift the chest, lower the shoulders back and down. And then the next inhale, once again, reach the arms upwards. On the exhale, take a side bend to the right, maybe right fingertips to the left wrist, pulling that arm up and over. And on the inhale, coming back to center, switching hands. Inhale, come to center, look up. Exhale, fold forward over the legs. Gazing past the knees for a moment, focusless gaze, Uttanasana, forward fold. And then come up halfway, Ardha Uttanasana, looking forward. Exhale, lower the hands, step the left foot to the back of the mat and come into a lunge. Maybe lift the head, and then go ahead and just step the left foot up next to the right. Step the right foot back, coming into a lunge, really separating the knees from each other. Making sure left knee, that the front knee is over the ankle and not past. And then step up. But we're just going to do this a few more times. If you have two blocks and you're a little tight in the body, it's helpful to be able to have hands to block as you're going through this. But go ahead and just do your best. Switching. Now you can take this more quickly if you'd like, or more slowly. So you might be taking like one breath and going from side to side. Like an inhale, lunge, lunge, and exhale, lunge, lunge. Or only taking leg back on an exhale or an inhale. Take a few more. If you want this to be a little bit more challenging, you can plant the palms and actually jump the feet. Okay, and then we're going to step the feet back, come into a plank posture. As you exhale, we're going to come to the bottom of a push-up and then all the way to the belly. So as you exhale, just bend the elbows. You can bring the knees down if needed, but just bend the elbows and hover the hips and the heart above the mat just a couple breaths. And then exhale, lower all the way down. All the way down. So totally relaxing the body. Arms alongside the body. I'm out of breath. Bring one side of the face to the mat. Letting the shoulders round. And switching the direction of the face. Now where we're going to go next, it is helpful to have a strap if you're really tight, especially like in the thighs. It's our hip flexors tend to be very tight from all the sitting that we do in the quadriceps. So when you do this today, if you find that, it would have been better, it would have been easier with a strap, then you might get one, or you could just use a belt. So from here, you can bring the forehead down to the mat, and then pick up the right foot, and take the right hand to the right foot, and pull this leg in. Now, the forehead might be okay there. If you're uncomfortable with that, you can bring the hand underneath the forehead. So as you're here, begin to pull the pelvis in. So it feels strange in this position, but pull the pelvis in and then relax the pelvis. Pulling, relaxing. Pelvis in, relaxing. So those pelvic tilts are really important. We'll just keep this leg here and take 3 more deep breaths. Relax the right leg, come to your forearms. And what we'll do from here is take this right leg and bending the knee, take the knee out to the right. So it's like at about the level of the waist, if possible. And then just rest here for a moment. So maybe side of the face to the hands or to the mat. Sink into the body. 3 more deep breaths. And we'll go ahead and straighten up the right leg. And then we are going to switch sides. So if you like, right hand can come to the forehead. Bend the left knee, picking up the foot, and then we'll hold that foot with the left hand. So first we're taking some deep breaths before those pelvic tilts. Just allowing for this initial stretch of the front of the thigh. So about 3 pelvic tilts. Drawing the pelvis in, you can feel an increase in the stretch in the front of the thigh when you do that. And then relaxing, a couple more. And then we'll keep the foot in 3 more deep breaths. So I was saying with the strap, some people might need to have like a strap around their foot, but just do your best today. And as you continue to be committed to your practice, then you just make the adjustments as you go. Okay, release this foot. You can come to forearms and take the left knee out to the left, and then relax one side of the face of the mat or to the hands. Sink into the body. Let it get heavier. If the mind starts to pick up its speed, all you have to do is deepen the breath and focus on what you're doing right now in this practice. Let's say another deep breath. And then inhale. Begin to take that left leg next to the right. We're going to come into a Sphinx posture. So bring the forehead down and extend the arms forward for a moment. And then draw the forearms in so that the elbows come closer and closer to the chest. And then as you're here, pick up the head and press into the elbows to lift the trunk. Now go ahead and activate the legs, the thighs, the glutes. Press into the elbows a little bit more, stretching the neck upwards. The elbows can be further forward. All of our bodies are different. And then exhale, lower, rest for a moment, tuck the elbows in towards the waist. Relax the heels out to the sides. Now we're going to press our way up by pushing into the forearms, lifting the hips, and then walking back into a child's posture. So once you're there, relax, be in there completely. Find the deepest breath you can. A clearing breath in through nose, out through mouth. Inhale, rise up to table posture, hands and knees. So we did some things before. We're going to revisit them and add to them. So in the next inhalation from our table posture, inhale, lift the right arm upwards. Exhale, set the hand down. Inhale the left arm upwards. Exhale, set the hand down. Now inhale, come back into that modified side plank. So you pick up the right arm while you extend the right foot to the back of the mat. Now, if you're in a full side plank, be there. If you're in a modified side plank, you need a little bit more, then you can lift the right leg. That's also possible from full side plank, but just be sure that you have your weight properly over that left hand. Okay, so we're going to be here another 2 breaths. Exhale. Keep the right leg risen, bring the right hand down, draw the left foot back to that neutral position on the mat, and then exhale, bring the right foot to the outside of the right hand. Slide the left knee back, far back, and start to just move this right knee a little bit side to side. And then we're going to just let the foot rest on the mat and start to lower. Now, lowering to you might not be actually going down. Maybe your wrists are bothering you, so that you could create fists and have the wrists straight. If you're able, you might be able to bend the elbows. You might be able to use blocks. They're so valuable. Or if you've got your big books, or a pillow, you might be able to bring forearms all the way down to the mat. I think it took me probably like 10 years before I could take my forearms to the mat. I think even more than that. Another 2 breaths. Let's get creative and do something. Connect. So we'll connect some postures that I have not connected before. So we're going to start to come up. And then what we'll do is lower enough so that you can bring the left forearm down and roll to the left hip and extend this right leg so that it meets the left. Now come all the way down so that you can rest the head on the left arm. Bring the knees over to the right side of the mat, and then begin to take this right foot and hold the foot. with the right hand, like we were doing before. But as you're here, start to roll the shoulder in a couple circles forward, a couple circles backward, and then continue to take the shoulder back and down as you draw the right knee towards the back of the mat. Another deep breath. Now bring the knee on top of knee, extend both of the legs, roll to the belly, come back into a Sphinx posture. So we're on the forearms. Lift the head, activate the legs, squeeze the shoulders back. Lower the head, draw the elbows in towards the waist. Rest for a moment, let the heels come away from each other. And then begin to push into the forearms, the elbows, so you can lift the trunk and take it back into child's posture. And take a clearing breath here, in through the nose, out through the mouth. And be here for a couple more deep breaths. You know, some days we are feeling a nice slow practice. Other days we feel like we've got to speed it up. And I found over the years that when my mind is really hard to control, I want the faster practice. I want to move like in those dance-like formations, like a vinyasa practice. And that can be really helpful. At the same time, we can train the mind to be in these slower practices. So let's take another deep breath here before we continue. And then we'll rise up to table posture. Hands and knees. Situate the wrists so they're under shoulders, knees so they're under hips. And a couple times, inhale, pick up the left arm. Exhale, lower. Inhale, pick up the right arm. Lower. Just one more time through that. This time we're working on the left side. So once the right hand is down, we find that modified side plank by picking up the left arm and then sending the left foot to the back of the mat with the right foot kicking out to the right. So maybe we're going to find making sure first that shoulder and wrist line up and that the arms themselves create one vertical post together. The trunk is connecting the arms. And then we'll pick up maybe this left leg. So another deep breath. This is where we come into a dragon posture. So we'll bring the left hand down, keep the left leg risen, take the left foot to the outside of the left hand and slide the right knee back. Okay, move this right leg around. If the wrists are tired, find the fists. Then letting the left foot plant and seeing where you can go, finding what is the edge so that it's the spot where you just can't go further. And if you do, you'll feel pain, so you don't go further. But you allow for the natural process to occur by utilizing the breath, relaxing the mind, which allows the body to relax. Remembering that that right knee is far behind, as far back as it'll go. So let's see how graceful we can connect this posture to the next. So we can start to rise enough where we can roll to the right hip and then take that left leg to meet the right. Lower down, pillow the head with the right arm. And then begin to take the knees over to the left side of the mat, holding the left foot and sending the left knee towards the back of the mat. Keeping it low. If it lifts up high, you won't really feel that the front of the thigh stretching. And then, as we did before, we rolled that shoulder a couple times one way, a couple times the other way. And then keep the shoulder back. You might take a couple pelvic tilts. A little hard here, but it's possible. And a few deep breaths. And go ahead and set knee on top of knee. Straighten the legs. We're going to find our bellies again. But this time a little bit different. Rather than a Sphinx posture, we have two options. So you can bring the hands underneath the shoulders, bring the forehead down. So we're going to take the first option together, and then the second, some will take and some won't take it. So in the next inhale, lift the head, the hands, the elbows are drawing in towards the waist, squeezing the shoulders back, and then lifting the legs as well. So if you're on a softer surface, this will be a little less intense for the pelvic bone. If it's really intense there, you don't have to pick up the legs. Just focus on the upper body. That's where I want our focus at this time. Spread the toes. Another deep breath. Exhale, lower the head. Now this time, if it's really hard for you to find the hands to the feet, like we did before, but doing both of them this time, so we can go into a bow posture. If that's not a thing for you, then you'll have the hands where they were before, and you'll do the same thing we just did. Otherwise, if you'd like to go into bow, bend the knees, hold the feet, take a deep breath. And then begin to lift. So the head, the hands, if you have the hands closer to the mat, and then if you're in a bow pose, lift the thighs off the mat, and you're pushing the feet into the hands, keeping the knees fairly close, letting the body rock. And exhale, lower, release. Bring the forearms to the mat, elbows in towards the waist, push into the elbows, and come back into your child's posture. Big toes together, knees apart, lowering the trunk, Balasana. Deep breath in through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Then we're going to rise up to table posture. I don't know what it is about Mondays, but I always like to stay close to the ground on Mondays. I find our practices are usually like that. So from table posture, we're going to thread the needle today. Next inhalation, lift the right arm up towards the sky. We activated these muscles a lot. Maybe take a nice big circle with the arm one way and another way. And then from here, we'll thread this right arm through. Come all the way down to the right shoulder, right side of the face. If you have a block and it's hard to get the side of the face to the mat, you would put the side of the face to the block itself. And then from here, before you go further, push this right arm into the mat and then release, just pushing it in, releasing, pushing, releasing. And then be here. Maybe the left arm is good where it is, maybe extend it forward with palm down, maybe wrap the arm around the back. Letting all the tension around the shoulder blade and under the shoulder blade be released. Take a deep breath in. Clear through the mouth. Feeling outer shoulder open. And let's bring the left palm down. Inhale, right arm up. Exhale the hand down, and then we'll switch sides. Inhale the left arm up. Maybe we take those big circles. Reaching up, and then thread through all the way down. You can push that arm into the mat. It doesn't have to be coordinated with the breath as long as the breath itself is coordinated, right? If it is regulated, that the inhalation and the exhalation match in length, that they're even. The feeling parts of this arm and shoulder open up, all the tension in, under, around the shoulder blade, relaxing, releasing. And then we'll bring the right hand down. Inhale the left arm up. Exhale the hand down. We're going to switch to seated again. So you can cross the ankles to find your way there and come all the way to seated. Take the legs out to a V formation. Legs out to V formation. Maybe you're using the blocks, maybe not. But essentially, we're going to keep the back straight at this time. And if it's hard to do that, here you're going to bend the knees but keep the feet flexed. Or you're going to sit on a block or a blanket. So whenever we find these positions, immediately your mind says, I remember to make that modification. Just start to walk the hands forward. And let's really exaggerate deep breaths so that this can be very efficient and effective. Deep breath in through the nose, release through the mouth. Sink the body in without collapsing the spine. Again, deep breath in. Exhale. A couple times with voice this time. Deep breath in. Once again. It's so important to use the voice. Let those vibrations occur in the body, and they move. They move tension around, loosen it up, help us relax in those areas as well. You know, when we're holding on to our feelings, when we're afraid to speak them or feel them or think them, we often get tight in that area. So use the breath and the voice to help release that. Now we're going to start to rise. And just walk over to one leg and take a deep breath. We're getting ready to rest. Walk over to the other leg. Okay, come to center. And then begin to walk upwards. One little twist here. Cross the ankles. On the inhale, lift the chest. On the exhale, twist to the right. Left hand to right knee, right hand behind. Get tall, and then turn. Come to center. Come to the other side. Exhaling, right hand to left knee, left hand behind, get tall and turn. Come to center. Drop the chin to the chest. Take a big circle with the head going one way. After 2 circles, go the other way. Come to center. Take one side bend to the right, left arm up and over. And finding center over to the left. Coming to center. And then coming all the way down to the back, all the way down to your back. Once you're on the back, let the feet be planted. Bring the hands to the base of the skull like we did before, to those grooves. Massage them. Go the other way. And then we'll go ahead and pick up the head with the hands and push the head and the hands into each other. Do this 3 times, pushing, relaxing, pushing, relaxing. And then only pushing the head forward, chin towards the chest as you put pressure into those muscles, the suboccipitals. All tension being removed from this area, letting energy flow freely through it. Release the head down. See if there's anything else you'd like to do before you rest. Maybe simple spinal twist. You know, we didn't get a lot of twists in today. There's so many more things you can do, and use this practice for later today. If you're home all day, how often are you actually moving? Get some postures in through the day, and this concentrated effort is a really good way to help the body and mind be more receptive later on. So when you're ready, start to take the feet to the corners of the mat. Maybe connect the feet together. You know, maybe you start as, or you end this practice as we kind of started a little earlier. I like that feeling. So actually see, maybe you can bring the soles of feet together, and maybe you can bring and connect left palm to heart, right hand to belly. Relax the eyes, relax the mouth, relax the scalp, the forehead, the inner channels of the ears. Relax the throat. Relax the entire chest, everything underneath the surface. Letting the body be still, resting the body, and resting the mind, resting completely. Now, before you changing anything, before you move, change the breath, just let these words resonate within you as you remain calm and deeply relaxed. There is in me a being that connects with all of life. There is in me a being that connects with all of life. And with that, let the breath deepen. Let the moves begin, the hands and feet begin to move. And bring the knees closer together, maybe draw them in, maybe extend them out. And just kind of feel out the body after this dedicated session. And maybe some rocking side to side. Maybe you're ready to rock right up. We're going to seal our practice. So once you rise, and if this is nap time for you, stay by all means. Now, once you rise, we'll bring palms together, thumbs to the heart center. And we'll seal our practice with the sound of Om. First, a deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. Deep breath in. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me today. I honor the light in you that is the same light in me. Namaste. And we are connected by that light. Have a beautiful rest of your day, everybody. I'm going to stick around and play bowls. You're welcome to stay tuned in while I do so. And remember to email me if you didn't already. Say hello in the chat box. If I don't know that you're here, please just let me know. Let me be aware. Take care. Namaste. My pleasure. Thank you, Adam. Oh, thank you, Adam. Very good to have you here. I hope to see you more often. And everybody, have a beautiful day. Thank you, Emily. Oh, good, good. Miriam, thank you so much. Always my pleasure. So happy that this is a possibility for all of us. So I'm grateful for everything that connects us. Let's remember that, the internet, our technology, we can use these tools for most amazing things. So um, it's good to be grateful for. Have a beautiful day.